Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the GallowgateShots YouTube channel and podcast. We are here. We are here with your match reaction straight after full time as Newcastle United progress to the semi-final. Once again, Decker, we are here. Myself, your host Chris, joined by Decker this evening. Another semi-final for Newcastle United, and Decker, Sandro Tonali. Let's just start talking about him because he was fantastic tonight. Bloody brilliant.
Unbelievable. Bit gutted I should have been at the game today, but unfortunately due to some family illness I couldn't go. So I missed that wonderful goal, the first goal. Well, I watched it on the telly, obviously, but I think first of all, I think the team, the lineup was great. I thought how really went for it. I mean, he played the strongest team that he could. I think we covered on Monday night that we were able to rest a few players early. They didn't play the full 90, so able to make some changes meant that we could start with a really solid team. Them had made some changes. When I seen the lineups, I thought we were going to blow these away. Like, to be honest, this is what I felt. And that strike, I mean, 8 minutes in, it's perfect start. So happy for him as well. So yeah, it was fun. I'm even drinking Italian beer just for the main man. So.
I think going into the game, we know that it's been complete polar opposites from Brentford for their home form and away form. We spoke a little bit about it on Monday night. Also in the match preview, which we've done, it was highlighted and saying that we're expecting both teams to go out with the strongest team available. I was unbelievably shocked that Brentford didn't, and there was a handful of changes to that Brentford side coming to St. James's there. But like you said, as soon as ours was obviously the strongest that we could possibly fielded at this moment in time, I'm the same as you. I'm up for that and thinking we should get something here. Like I was worried that it was going to be a bit of a sloppy game going into it and just not the greatest to watch. But we controlled that from start to finish. And that's 2 games in a row now, Decker. Obviously the 4-0 against Leicester and now a 3-1 victory against Brentford, which has put us through to the next round. It's exactly what we wanted. It's a performance and results on the back of it.
Yeah, 100%. You've got to credit Howe massively for that, and you've also got to give credit to the players. You know, we've critiqued certain performances and results, and we've I say negative. I wouldn't say we're being negative. We're just being honest. Like, do you know what I mean? That the performances weren't very good, or perhaps the results weren't.
Yeah,
in the
questionable
last
at times.
two, yeah, questionable. You know, apologise about the lights, everyone. They're excited as I am.
Yeah, those that listen to the audio, Decker's got a Christmas tree behind him, and it's going absolutely mental.
If I had went in the living room, it would have been better because that one I can control the lights on better. Anyway, yes, as you say, I just want to comment on that about Brentford. I was just checking that on the league table. They're 11 points from safety, right? They've got no issues at all going down. They're never going to get dragged into a relegation battle. And it does surprise you, if I'm being honest. Like, they're in a quarterfinals. This is a fantastic opportunity for them to get to the semi-final as well, and to make them changes. I would be disappointed personally if I was a Brentford fan, but I'm not, so it doesn't matter. But,
and thankfully not, Decker. Thankfully not. Let's talk about the goals themselves, because once again, and before we just jump into that, set pieces in the last handful of games, we are trying new things, and they're working a hell of a lot. Even if we're not scoring every single time for them, we're making the defenses question what they're doing, and we're creating opportunities from the back of that, which is bloody brilliant to see. But Sandro's first goal, mate, like just how well he hits that outside of the boot, and the commentator kept on saying he put swaz on it, which was doing my tits in.
Michael Bridges.
Michael Bridges, one of the worst, him, one of the worst.
Yeah, swaz.
Did you also notice how many times he said black and white stripes?
Yes, I know.
Black and white stripes 5 times within the first 8 minutes, which was doing your head in.
Do you know when some commentators try to, I don't know, they try to sound like they're quite clever. Do you know what I mean? And he kept saying Tonali's really putting a shift in the black and white stripes tonight. I don't know, just trying to say things that just weren't. I don't know, they just weren't very good. But anyway, I think they come onto the corners. It was probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago where on Monday night I said, "God, we don't look like any threat from a set piece." Yeah. And given the size, we've got Joelinton, we've got Dan Burn, we've got Shea, we've got a big side. But now we seem very adventurous from we're going short, we're doing all kinds of stuff. And I know you'll still get people going, get it in the middle, man. But I think they're working it really well. Now, obviously, this is what I love about Tonali, that particular goal. Of course, there's going to be times where the defence just get rid of it and clear it.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see one of our guys on that edge of that box waiting, anticipating that ball to come out. Now, there's anticipating the ball to come out and then being able to deliver a strike like that. I mean, that was absolutely outside of the boot, always bending away from the goalkeeper. Hasn't got a chance. Can't really see it.
It's that bend in the last moment. It bends just as it's heading towards a defender. And I was watching the match with Wall last, and she went, "Oh, it's taking a deflection." I was like, "I don't think it has. I think he just put so much bend on it, and it gets so close to the defender and just goes, whoop, we're going that way,' and just completely goes off. And the keeper has got no chance at all to saving that." And
my mate texted me and said exactly, he went, "Oh, deflection happy, like we're happy, like it's a deflection, but we're fine." And I was like, no, I think that's just the way it's bent. And as soon as you seen the replay, it was all Tonali. So
it was, and honestly, it's great to see Tonali back on the score sheet. Obviously, he has scored a goal for Newcastle previously, but first goal this season, obviously wraps it up with another one later on in the game. It's great to see as a fan base, but for him as well. It was quite a muted celebration from him. I thought he would have went absolutely akka when he's got that first goal after returning to football, but it was quite a muted celebration. The rest
he's
of
quite
the
a calm person, isn't he?
Calm as you like, mate.
He's so calm. Like, he scored the goal and he's like, "Aye, fair enough, aye." And then there was so much in his performance where like he was just pinging it and passing it around, and like he just seems as if he's almost like at a training match, if that makes sense. There doesn't seem to be an emotional, what's the word, like just as it, well, like the excitement or sort of, it just seems calm. He seems one way all of the time.
And he's excited for Christmas, digger. He just wakes up and goes, "Oh, it's Christmas."
No, it's Christmas. That's what he'd be like. I just think that's what he's like. You know what I mean? It's Christmas.
But never mind just his goals, mate. Just his overall performance tonight. At half time, they put the touch map to see whereabouts on the field he's been, and had some sort of input in regards to possession and the play of the ball. He was everywhere, mate, absolutely everywhere on the field. A lot of dropping back in the left back role randomly. He had a few touches down there. Obviously, a lot of that would have probably been off corners and things like that. But I just thought tonight he was just outstanding, mate. And I know we've been saying this quite a lot when we've seen him so far this season, just realizing just how good of a player he is. But on the back of that, what's good to see is that midfield partnership with him and Bruno actually working now as well, because we were still questioning it as well when we're seeing it earlier on in the season, thinking, can this happen? Can they play together? But that's a couple of games now where it's been great performances from the pair of them, really.
Yeah, I think so. I still thought moments in the first half, if I'm honest. Then there was, I can't remember his name. Is it Corvella, something like that? Forgive us. He was picking it up and then pockets him. We didn't have anyone anywhere near him sometimes. And I was questioning, well, where's the midfield? But the balance does seem to be better. Tonali, for all he might be starting as a number 6 or the defensive midfield, he's certainly not staying there all game. He is, as you mentioned, that touch map. He's everywhere across the pitch. And that's the engine he's got, right? He's got that engine to get around the field, So I'm a huge fan of him, and as I've said for a long time, and I think that's why I was so annoyed that he got dropped against Brentford, this away game. That I appreciate that we're saying about fatigue and stuff, but you've got to, in order to get the balance right, in order to become, what's the word, like the cohesion of the team, you've got to start these players. You've got to play them more than just one game. You've got to give them a few games in the team to develop that sort of cohesion as a side, and hopefully that the last 2 games have proved that.
100%. Obviously, the partnership, well, not the partnership between the two of them is going to be split up. That'll be the same, but Joelinton is missing the game against Ipswich, so there will be changes in midfield there. Speaking about Joelinton, just because I mentioned him there, he's an absolute trooper, that kid, absolute trooper. He gets an elbow to the face, he then gets trod on straight afterwards, studs down. It's like the side of his head, isn't it, on his ear and into his neck.
Killer, that's a killer.
That's sore, that absolutely sore. Yeah. Did you see the rest of the lads having to literally pin him down on the deck when he was trying to get up because he was going to kill somebody?
He was high, yeah. He's seen red, didn't he? And he was, literally seen red off the he was absolutely raging. And it's funny, in real time, I will be honest, I didn't really see what happened necessarily. I thought it was just a coming together. But
Mm.
on the replay, I'm almost wincing, like, because you're like, oh, because you almost don't see where his legs have gone, but you're fully aware of what's happening.
You know,
right?
it's in his face. Yeah.
It's in his face, exactly. Yeah, and Joelinton was about to body slam him. Like he would
He
have
was
threw
about
him
to
over
kill
the
somebody.
target, I think. So the lads did well to pin him down.
I said to Wallace, I said, I don't want to be the first player on the end of a Joelinton challenge here, like, because he came back on, he just starts running at players. You're thinking, somebody's going to get it here. But he calmed down, obviously. He does go off at half time as well, because they put Staples in it, don't they? And I'm guessing they just couldn't stop the bleeding at this point, because obviously he went off later on in the first half as well to get sorted again, which obviously I'm just assuming they haven't been able to sort that out, which obviously Joe Willock comes on.
It could either be sorted out, or just genuinely the pain was maybe just so much it was hampering him and being able to run or whatever it may be. It didn't seem like he was hampered necessarily, but that has to play a huge effect on you getting stamped on like that. Like, there's just no doubt about it. And to go back to what I mentioned about you've got to always play these three and etc. Absolutely, of course. On Saturday there has to, because of suspension and stuff, there is going to be a change, and I get that, right? There is times where you have to change it. I just feel, I think it'll be Willock that comes in. And I don't think there's any issues with that at all. It's fine.
No, I think I'll be very shocked if it's anybody else. I agree with you. I think it'll be Willock, just a straightforward change. The rest of the team will stay exactly the same. Excuse me, there's a couple of comments came in about the semi-final, the first leg, because the yellow cards which were picked up tonight, it's going to be Fabian Shaw and Bruno that'll be missing the first tie of the semi-final. The referee was very card happy and loved his whistle tonight. Any sort of opportunity, any sort of foul, well, not even a foul, but any sort of touch, he was just giving in and giving a free kick, and even Lewis Hall picking up that yellow card, I was thinking, that's a bit harsh, that one.
Yeah, I thought the refs started actually well in that regard, because I've got Tonali on to get booked actually on my bet, and Tonali went absolutely sliding into the challenge early on. The lad went flying. He didn't book him, and I thought, okay, the refs.
Similar like the Fabian one, wasn't on the other side.
However, once he gave one booking, well, the rest followed quite quickly. So yeah, and I don't think you can underestimate the loss that's going to give Win the first leg. You can't underestimate that. Like, I mean, it's if you're going to lose Shea and Bruno in the first game, it's not good, right? I can't deny that. It's not going.
There's a question coming straight away, Decker, about that first leg, because of the two suspensions now. Would you prefer this first leg to be at home or away?
I've always wanted the home game to be second, because you know what the task is ahead of you, whether you're 2-0 down or whatever it is, you know the task. Because I always feel that you have the home game first, and let's say you win 1-0. Let's say you did, right? You still think, my God, we've got to go away. Yeah, like I just feel getting them back at home, knowing what the task is on the night, what to do, it's better, in my opinion.
It's a lot of pressure, like you said. It's a lot of pressure if you've got that home leg first and you don't win that game, and you go and looking for a victory away from home. So I'm with you. There's always a chance to bounce back after a defeat if you're all back at home. And we know how well the lads can play at St. James's Park. So 100% you want that first leg to be away from home, especially with the suspensions as well, because two key players for work. There's no denying that. Two huge players forward.
Can I ask? Sorry, when is the date of that? Do you know or not?
Got no idea, mate. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know. Yeah, I've got no idea.
I meant to look at that before I went live, actually, but I was trying to sort the tree out. So I apologise. Just being honest with you.
Let's talk about Tonali's second goal, mate, because different to his first, rather than outside of the boot, he just places a nice little volley into the bottom right corner again. And do you know what it is? It's just another goal from him. Once again, Decker, you've said it before, just how calm. He's just mid-air and he's just placing that on the volley into the back of the net.
Yeah, that again, like, I've just referenced that I love a player when that hovering on the outside of the field, if the ball gets cleared, you're there. I used to absolutely, God rest his soul, Gary Speed. I used to love Gary Speed for arriving late in the box, and you cannot mark him. Do you know what I mean? Now there was a kind of a scuffle with Joelinton in one of their play. I think can't remember who it was. Sorry, but
it was Wissa, wasn't that?
Yeah, Wissa it was, wasn't it? And that then kind of led Tonali to get a bit of a leg on, and then next thing you know, it's in. Now that one does take a deflection. There's no question of that. It takes quite a big deflection. But if you, that's the kind of look you deserve, right? By getting in that area and having the composure to hit the. That's why I always say, just hit the target, because you never know, it might take a deflection or whatever. The goalkeeper might not be able to handle it or whatever it may be. Once we got the second goal, for me, we were holding. What's it? Late January, early Feb.
Yeah, so
yeah.
the semi-finals, first leg is late January and then early Feb, because the finals in March, isn't it? If I remember right.
Yeah, well, we're going to sign 15 players in January anyway, right? So I'm totally joking. I am totally joking. No, once that second goal goes in for me, it would come at a great time. It come at a great time, because to be fair, if I'm honest, even though we were definitely the better side, and I'm not saying we weren't, after scoring the first goal, there was a I don't know, a bit of a lull. I thought Gordon was quite. He reminded me of my mate a little bit actually tonight, where I felt he always looked dangerous when he got the ball and he got in fantastic areas, but I don't know, something didn't seem right. Missed control every now and again, cut inside, blasted over. I'm not saying he played poorly. He worked incredibly hard off the ball, but I just felt on the ball. I don't know. I thought
he's grafting tonight. He absolutely grafted his arse off tonight. He really did. That set piece as well between him and Hall, where he back heels it towards Hall.
Yeah.
Lovely. They've done that a couple of times this season. But
the link-up play between them is becoming
lovely,
brilliant. Yeah.
Anyone that plays Football Manager,
anyone that plays that FM, on your tactics screen now, it'll be a nice green line between Hall and Gordon. If anyone plays FM, they'll know what I mean by that.
We'll mention on Monday night just that partnership that we're seeing on the left-hand side, similar to what we saw last season before on the right-hand side, the season where we qualified for the Champions League football between Trips, Miggy and Bruno. It was there. Yeah. Now we're seeing that between Gordon and Hall, and it's really working. Honestly, it really is clicking now.
It's so difficult to stop in many ways. It really is, because what I would say is both of the lads have to be incredibly fit physically, because Hall is up and down, Gordon's up and down. And it's a real hassle, for teams to stop, even though Hall's going to go on an overlap. But Gordon sometimes, what I love about it is Hall will bomb on, but Gordon will come inside. Do you know what I mean? Then the next time, Gordon may give it to Hall when he does the overlap. So it's really, really good. Now, the right-hand side, I actually thought Murphy had quite a decent game tonight. Now, he seems involved a lot, doesn't he, Murphy? You know what I mean? He hit the post. He's always involved, isn't he? He
sees a lot of the ball. He sees a lot of the ball.
A lot of the ball. The second half, there was a lovely little drag and back heel Bruno did, and Murphy followed it with the left foot. Now, the Bridges is saying, he's got to work the keeper. I thought he did. He was very unlucky. I thought it was a good effort, personally, with his weaker foot. Yeah. I thought Murphy had it. Listen to me, and I know I've had about 10 of these, but I thought Murphy was canny tonight, to be fair. But yeah, no, sorry to answer your question. Left-hand side is the future of England, and it's the future of Newcastle United.
Yeah, I agree. Third goal, Decker. There's a couple more opportunities. Obviously, we'll get a third goal, which is it's very unselfish from Bruno.
Oh, yes, of course.
Just passes across to Fabian. Fabian just plays it in the back of the net there. Which was great.
Hold as well, and all. Hold as well.
Yeah,
because he gets that. What I loved about it, the ball kind of comes back to them. And a lot of players you see will just immediately swipe it like they get it on target. He didn't. He kills the ball and he thinks about it, gets a shot away. And Bruno does fantastic. He really, really does. Very unselfish and good awareness from Bruno.
Yeah, Fabian just always seems to be in the right place at the right time, Fabian. And just puts that in the back of the net.
Well, a few people were saying he was finished 2 weeks ago, but
Oh, he's dead. Dead and buried. A few weeks ago, mate.
Life comes out fast, yeah.
But yeah, he makes it 3, and when it's 3, game over. It's completely game over. Brentford did make a couple of changes as well. Obviously, we're seeing Boomer come back on the field there, which I love him as a player. He did change things slightly, but when he came on, he did. Obviously, it's a shame that we did concede at the end to make a 3-1. Dubravka was absolutely furious because it was just a sloppy goal to concede.
It was. Considering you've been under no pressure in the whole game, similar to Leicester, right? You've got a chance there to get 290 minutes under your belt and no goals conceded, not even looking like conceding. So it is frustrating, but you've just got to wash that off, right? It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. No damage done really when you think about it, because it was. Do you know what it is? At the end of the day, it was a comfortable 3-1 win, which I wasn't expecting. I said in the match preview that I was expecting more of a sluggish game where it was going to be a bit of a battle, because I was expecting Brentford to sit back and just absorb the pressure and be dangerous and hit on the attack, because I did think they'd be starting Burmo and so on, which they didn't do, which worked in our favour. Obvious that it did so. But very shocked that they went with that starting 11 and made it very, very easy for us. They really did. And it's good that you're getting that performance and you're going to the next round of the cup without. Did they break a sweat? Did the lads really break a sweat? Like, yes, they put a shift in, but I don't like. It wasn't like your typical basketball game, which we've been seeing the last couple of games, where it's just been end to end. Obviously, apart from Leicester to move that one, but it's just I don't know. I thought it was just a nice little run out for the lads tonight.
Well, I thought we just looked a class above. To be honest, and that's exactly the way you want a game of football to be. You know, you want to be in control of the game, looking the more dangerous side. I thought on the ball, every player looked comfortable, looked full of confidence, lots of movement, great work rate off the ball. The press, they couldn't live with it. Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic performance, and I almost think I'm seeing that almost. What's the word? Like a bit blasé. Like I don't want it to sound that way, but it was a very professional and superb job. To be fair, perfect. You couldn't wish for a better quarterfinal, right? In terms of just how they turned up, did the job. Done. Thanks very much.
Exactly. And we haven't even mentioned that when Barnes arrived on the field, absolutely wellied it off the post. Keeper's well and truly beat. Absolutely wellies it.
When it hits the inside of the post, you're thinking that's in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so unlucky for that one to come back out, isn't it?
We hit the woodwork quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah, well, you know what it is? It's not. You remember a few weeks ago, right? Well, actually, we'll go back to the Palace game, and we hadn't had a shot at goal. You remember that one? And we made a big fuss of that, right?
Yeah.
And I remember how got interviewed after the game, and they said, like, "Do you tell them not to shoot?" Like, and I thought it was a good question, but he got asked by someone saying, "Why are they not shooting?" And it's almost. I mean, Howe says he doesn't instruct them not to do that, but it does feel since that game he's almost said, "How about lads?" Like. You know, and we have got people that can strike a good ball. Barnes certainly can. We know Murphy. To be fair to Murphy, he can strike a good ball, right? Gordon loves to hit one as well. So, yeah.
Tonali now throw him in there as well.
Do you know? Did you hear the commentator say halfway through the second half? Oh, sorry, it was before the second half kicked off. Sorry, just before, and he said Newcastle have failed to score in the second half of a game or something. Did you hear him say that?
That was in the cup.
In the cup. Yeah. I was going to say he's full of shit there. But but he said something like they've had 22 shots at goal and not scored in the second half.
Yeah, in the second half,
Yeah, which isn't good. But obviously we've put that to bed, right? Because Shea scored, so it's fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, it was just an interesting one, that.
Shall we go through a couple of questions, mate? Because we've had a couple of questions sent in. So we'll go for another 10 minutes there. So if anybody's got any questions, send them our way, and we'll wrap it up by doing a quick little Q&A session. So the first one is from Mark Lane that says, I still think Livramento is slightly below his best. What do you think? I kind of agree to a certain extent. I think sometimes he has been quite sloppy in possession and losing the ball easy. But what you do notice from Tino, he does recover quite well when he does lose the ball. He doesn't give up on it. He chases it back. But I do agree. I don't think we are seeing the best from him. I think this is where we're going to disagree a little bit. You would like to see Trips back, if I remember right.
I do love Trippier, you know, I do. But what I'm going to answer that question with is Livramento doing enough offensively? Now, I would probably say not, because we might be judging him against Hall. Hall looks like he's always busy. He's always linking up play. Livermento's never in trouble defensively that I can remember. Certainly recent weeks anyway. And I could be wrong, and someone might say you're totally wrong because this happened a few weeks ago. I think defensively he's been sound. I just think the link-up play between him and Murphy, I don't know, it's not.
That's not
Livramento. It hasn't really clicked, has it? And yeah, so I get why people might think Livramento is not at his best, but I don't think he's playing poorly enough to warrant not playing, though. I would say that.
I think it has been a position though this season. So the position in front of Tino on that right hand side, it's always changing. It's ever changing especially this season. Obviously, you've got Murphy starting, then it went to Miggy. Then you've got Gordon playing, Joelinton there, Barnes has started there. You've had a fair few players in front of him, so you could argue that is the case. So there's not been enough time to create that partnership. But I'm the same way in thinking you. I don't think he's done anything to merit being removed from that starting 11. Far from it. I'm a big fan of Tino, but I think you're right what you're saying. You are comparing to the left hand side, and you're getting fantastic performances from Hall, but that is probably because of the partnership which he has created with Gordon in front of him. Then also the protection that they have from Joelinton as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And also, Hall is, let's be fair, right? He's actually really a centre midfielder playing left back, right? He's able to do that. He's so comfortable on the ball, man. When Hall gets the ball, he's so comfortable. Whereas Tino is more push it ahead and run. Does that make sense? He's not exactly good on the ball, but he'll hit it round a player and run after it type of thing. But
I think we have to be honest as well, though, Dick. I think Hall is probably just a better player as well, from what we're seeing.
Well, maybe I was a big fan of Hall when he came in. To be fair, when I'd seen him, as I said, a few times, not often, but I remember seeing him for Chelsea at Man United. I thought he was amazing at Old Trafford. But I still think both of them are doing very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Got no issues. To be fair, we're lucky because Trippier, clearly something's happened with Trippier, right? And whatever off the field, etc., and fitness and stuff. So we're very lucky to have, because Kraft's injured as well, right? So imagine we didn't have him. Crikey, I don't know who we're playing right back. So
bring Mankiewicz back.
It'll probably be Murphy. Murphy would probably be playing right back, right?
Right wing back wouldn't be the first time we've seen it. Yeah, to be fair. Right, next question is we'll go with Neil Gio. We haven't seen Neil Gio for a while, mate. He says, what three midfield would you play against Ipswich with Joelinton? Now, we addressed it earlier on in the Croydon, but we're both in agreement. We would imagine Joe Willock coming in that position. I'd be very shocked if you see Longstaff coming in to that three and working with. I don't like the sound of that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Three of them, nah. So it'd be Joe Willock coming in.
Willock's giving you. All right, listen. There's no player in the league like Joelinton what he gives you, right? But
no player in the world, Digger.
In terms of legs and in terms of being able to cover the ground and drive forward with the ball, Willock's perfect for that, and that's what Joelinton gives you on that side. Of course, off the ball, slightly different. I do understand that and appreciate that. I don't want to knock Longstaff here, but like when I've said about you need to upgrade in the midfield from Longstaff, and I've said this for a while, right? And people always say, they come back with, we always win when Longstaff's in the team and all this. That Tonali performance tonight is what I was trying to get at. It's like when you pay 50-60 million pounds for a player in midfield, there should be a difference between that performance and what Longstaff can give you, and that's not a slight on Longstaff. It's just the way it is, right? And that's what I mean by, in order to progress as a team, I'm sorry to say that's why the likes of Tonali needs to be started. Because no offense, Longstaff can't play like
that. Next question is from our very own Ian Dayton.
Ian, lad.
Who would you prefer to draw in the semis? I fancy our chances against Man United or Spurs over 2 games, but would leave Liverpool, Arsenal in a final if we got there. You've got to play them at one point. I think we're probably going to be in agreement. I think you're looking at the teams that are left there. I'm imagining that the draw is going to be tomorrow night after the games are finished tomorrow.
Yeah. It's not easy either way, mate. Let's be very fair. Every single team that's left, they're going to, the teams that he's mentioning there, right?
Tough, innit?
They're all going to say over 2 legs they'll fancy it against anyone, and that's fine for them to say that, and it's also fine for us. Now, Arsenal aren't quite what they were, right? I don't think they are at all. They're gettable, and we've got a very good record at our building. Like, they don't like it up here, like they really don't. So, I suppose you
want to avoid Liverpool. I think that's the one that we'll want to dodge.
You do want them, you do want them. No, you didn't, because they'll play a full strength team with the semis now, right? So they're going to turn up now, like, do you know what I mean? And Man United just had a bit of a shot in the arm with that win over Man City. So yeah, listen, it's going to be difficult. Whoever you get with that, I don't want any of them. Come on, get anyone else.
I think if I'm picking right now, I'm probably going Spurs.
Well, yeah, they're probably the most, could you say, gettable. And Spurs are Spurs, right? Like the Spursy, right? Like, unfortunately, that's what they are. So I agree. They could probably win 3-0 down there and come to our place and lose 4-0. You know what I mean? They're just Spurs, right? So, yeah.
And I think obviously the crucial thing is if that had just been a home fixture against any of those, I would take any of them right now. I'd be like, just bring it on. It's at home, but it's a fact that obviously it's over 2 legs and anything can happen away from home. Of course, it can.
I would have to say Liverpool are the back of the queue. Like, I don't want them at all, because you don't want to be. I don't want the Anfield carry on. I just didn't want it. So
yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Anything you want to say, Decker, before we wrap it up?
Just Ipswich game. I think hopefully, I said to you that this week, didn't we all discuss that these 3 games were huge in terms of
Huge week,
being able to turn a corner, huge week. And we've done the second one, so the trilogy's coming up. So if we can get through these 3 games, what a shot in the arm for us that is. Do you know what I mean? A real,
it'd be fantastic, mate.
Them haven't won at home yet, so. And I think them beat Wolves last time out. So again, it's going to be a difficult game. There is no easy games in the Premier League. There's not. So, but no, I think we'll go there full of confidence.
Ipswich are currently obviously sat in the relegation zone there. Sat 18th. They've won 2 games? I'm looking at it now. They've won 2 games this season.
Yeah,
so 1-2, drawn 6 and lost 8. So you've got to look at those stats alone and think, right, how well, lads, like. Do you know what it is? I always hate using the word expect now because of Mark that week saying you can't expect to win games.
I was going to say, Mark, here we'll go again.
Yeah, you kind of go into that game and thinking, well, we should be winning, really. Like,
listen, like this is. I remember I was speaking to someone the day, right, and they were going, "Oh, Brentford, rah rah rah," and I went, "Oh." I went, "Hold on a second. I'm sure when the draw happened and we got Brentford at home, you went and bought a case of beer to celebrate, right?" And he was like, "Well, maybe I did." I was like, "Well, so you have to just be honest and say Brentford at home, we should be beating them, right?" And if Ipswich have only won 2 games and they haven't won at home all season, then I'm sorry, we should be going down there going, "Okay, we should probably win this game, right?" Will we win it? No, I'm not saying we definitely will, but me thinking of Saturday, we should be confident enough that we're going to get.
Bookie's favourites, like, aren't we?
Well, of course we are. Now, obviously, I always worry about Newcastle. I always have and always will. But no, if we can get 3 points there, and I know we're 5 points off top 5 or so. All of a sudden, what a swing that is from where people were a few games ago, which is fantastic. So
yeah. No, it's great. Dara, we'll call it a night. It's 10:25 now.
So we'll have that bottle, I think.
We'll call it a night. You go enjoy that drink. And Dara, it's just great to see. Like, I know we've said this a lot. We need performance. We need results. Yes, we know it was a cup game. You're not getting 3 points on the back of it, but you are getting through to the next round of the cup. You're gaining confidence as well. We're getting that momentum as well, which we've been so desperate for, and keep a hold of this season as well. We've been falling and failing at the first hurdle every time we've had an opportunity to do this. And like I said, going up against Ipswich next year, thinking that's another great chance to continue that run as well into Christmas. I will see what happens there. We'll be full of hell on Monday. But yeah, thanks everybody that has been watching us live there tonight. Just drop a like as well. It means so much to us as well. Become a subscriber. It's free to do so. If you do want to give an extra bit back, it is just $2.99 a month to become a member as well. Me and Dick, I'll see you on Monday night for the Always Smiling Faces podcast show. There will also be match previews, match reactions, and so much more coming before Monday as well. But yeah, Decker, sign out with the magic words, mate.
We're through,
Get it.